Hi guys, welcome back to the Ogandos Family channel. In this video, we'll be teaching you how to make beef and cheese empanadas. These turned out so good, guys, and my kids absolutely love them. So if you're interested in making this recipe, keep watching and follow along. So for this recipe, you will need 2 packs of these Lafe Discos para Empanadas or pastry dough. They each contain 10 discs and they come frozen, so you will need to defrost them before using them. A can of chopped black olives, green olives, tomato sauce. I'm going to use roasted garlic because that's my favorite. Some mild cheddar cheese, some mozzarella cheese, half of a red onion, half of a green onion, half of a red or white onion, cilantro, basil, green onion, and garlic. And you will need to chop everything into small pieces and smash your garlic. You will need about 2 pounds of ground beef, and this does make 20 empanadas. If you would like to make less, you can just half this recipe. Some Sazón tropical, complete seasoning or Sazón completa, Sofrito, which you can find in your local Latino store or Walmart, oregano, and chicken powder. So these are all the ingredients that you will need for the empanadas. So the first thing you want to do is add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of sofrito, about a teaspoon of oregano, about a teaspoon and a half of chicken powder, about a teaspoon and a half of complete seasoning, and a teaspoon and a half of Sazón completa. After adding all of your spices, go ahead and mix everything together until it's well combined. And don't forget that you have to defrost your empanada discs before using them. You cannot fill them if they're frozen. So you have to make sure that you defrost them first. Okay, so go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil into a pan and add your beef. Now, when you add your beef in the pan, you want to make sure that you break your beef up into little tiny pieces. You want it to be very soft and very small. That way you don't bite into big chunks when you eat the empanada. So as you can see, my husband's just breaking it up into small pieces. So after your meat is cooked, you can go ahead and add your vegetables and garlic. And just mix all of that together and cook it. Now you don't want to overcook your vegetables because then they'll become too soft. So I would say you want to cook this for about 3 to 4 minutes until your vegetables are slightly tender. Okay, and then with your olives, the black olives in the can, they already come chopped up into small pieces. But if you use the ones in the jar along with the green olives, you just want to cut them into small pieces if they don't already come that way. Okay, so he's just going to cook all of this until the vegetables are slightly tender. And then after this, you can go ahead and add your black olives. Now, we use the whole can of black olives because we really like them. But if you're not a big fan of black olives, you can either omit them or you can just add half a can. We find that we've made these empanadas a couple different ways. And we find that the black olives gives it such a unique flavor. So I do recommend trying it, seeing if you like it. Even if you just put black olives and, just a couple of them, if you want to just cook them apart and just add it to a couple of empanadas to see if you like it. It's completely up to you. Okay, so here you just go ahead and add the tomato sauce. We're using the full can of tomato sauce as well. We like to use the roasted garlic because it just gives it more flavor, but you can just use regular tomato sauce or whichever kind that you have on hand. The brand doesn't really matter. They're all pretty much the same. Okay, and then you also want to add a full can of your tomato sauce of water. So just fill up that tomato sauce can of water and add that in. And then here he's adding some pepper. I would say about a teaspoon of pepper. And again, we don't measure anything. We just kind of eyeball it. I'm trying to give you estimates of measurements just to make it easier for you. But with this recipe, it's really hard to mess it up, honestly. Okay, and then here he tasted it and saw that it needed a little bit more flavor. So he went ahead and added another teaspoon of chicken powder. So at this point, just taste it. And just, it's to your liking. So if you feel like it needs more salt, you can add salt, or more seasonings, add seasonings. Just play around with it until you get it perfect to your liking. Okay, and some Italian seasoning. All right, so this is what it should look like when your meat is done. You just want to make sure that it's broken up into little tiny pieces and that it's very tender. And this makes 20 empanadas, guys. Again, if you want to make less, you can just cut this recipe in half. You can do a pound of beef and then just cut the amount of seasonings in half. But trust me, once you try these empanadas, you're going to want to keep eating them. So we thought about only making 10, but we know how much we love them. So we went ahead and made 20. So to start off, you just want to lay your empanada disc, and you want to put 1.5 spoons of your beef. If you would like your empanadas to be a little bit more full, you can put 2 full spoons of beef. Okay, and then a little tiny piece of mozzarella and a little piece of the mild cheddar cheese. We like to mix both cheeses because it gives it a better flavor and a different flavor. However, if you only have mozzarella on hand or mild cheddar, you can use either or. It's really up to you. We just like the flavor of both of the cheeses together. Now, I will tell you, the mild cheddar cheese does not give a big cheese pool. The mozzarella does. So if you're looking for that cheese pool, go with mozzarella. And that's why we went with both. We went with the mild cheddar more for the flavor and the mozzarella for the cheese pool. Okay, so after you fill them, you just want to take your fork and do exactly as shown in the video. You just want to press it against the dough to make those lines, and that's going to seal the empanada so that none of your ingredients seep out. Same thing with this. You just lay your empanada, and we're just going to show this process a couple times just so you can understand it better. So you want to put, again, 1.5 spoonfuls of meat. If you would like it more full, put 2 spoonfuls. And then a couple pieces of tiny pieces of cheese. So you can just cut those into small pieces. If you make them too big, the empanada will not close. So you just want to cut them into little strips. Okay, then you're going to press down the sides as shown here. And then take your fork and press it down to make those marks. So as you can see here, my husband uses his finger to put more pressure towards the end of the fork. And this is just to seal the empanada. Because if you don't seal it correctly, your ingredients will seep into the oil, and it will mess up the oil, and it will cause a lot of oil to go inside the empanada, and you don't want that. But look how beautiful they look. But guys, this is so easy. It's really such an easy and fast recipe to make. Okay, so once your oil is hot, you can go ahead and add your empanadas. Now we're adding 2 at a time because we find that it cooks better that way, but you can add 2 or 3. And you want to have your stove on a medium-high heat. But just be careful. Just sit and watch them so that they don't burn. You want them to be a golden brown, not black. So just make sure you're watching them so you don't burn down the house. And as you can see here, our oil does have some little black pieces. That's because we actually were filming another video and we made some tostones. So that's why there's some little black pieces. So don't mind that. Okay, but once your empanadas look golden brown like this, that's how you know that they're done. That's the perfect color. And it's going to have a perfect crunch to it. Okay, so you just want to kind of shake off your empanada a little bit to get the extra grease off and place it onto a paper towel lined plate. And that's just to absorb the extra grease. Okay guys, so now you're finished and here is the final product. Look at that cheese pull. These came out so juicy, so tender, and so good. Please give this recipe a try and let me know how you like it. And now we're going to move on to the next part, which is the taste test.
Hi, I'm Christella.
And my name is Kaden.
And today we're going to be tasting the beef empanadas.
So,
Okay.
Christelle, you go. So, we do it at the same time.
Tell me your honest opinion.
I hope it.
Mm-hmm.
How is it?
It's good.
Is it hot?
Nope. This is so good.
You like it? Say something, girl.
It's really good. I like the beef and the texture.
The texture?
And when I crunch into it.
Mm-hmm.
This is good, guys.
So what you rate it?
I read it at 100 out of 100.
Same.
Hit the like button and subscribe if you like this video. Bye.